Every day we cross paths with hundreds of people whom we'll never know. But in a crisis, one of them might suddenly become the most important person in our lives, as a woman in Morro Bay, California discovered on the morning of May 20th, 1993. Around 6:45 that morning, 22-year-old Karen Clark was driving a deserted park road on her way home to her parents' house.
She had been having dreams, and she said, I've been having them a lot lately. She said, I keep dreaming I'm going to die by drowning.
Bob Fox was just starting his daily 10-mile run along that same road.
It's like everything was in slow motion. And I looked and I looked and I thought, this can't be happening. I knew that I had to get to that car immediately. It's in the water and somebody's in there.
When we continue.
That's okay, I'm cold too, you'll be fine.
I was getting real tired. My arms were getting real tired. And I thought, if somebody doesn't come, I'm going through the hatchback.
Help!
I went for the door handle and that was locked. The back window was all broken out, and I thought, if I go in that way, I mean, we're all going to get cut up. The other window was open almost halfway. I didn't know who was in there, if they were dead or alive, and reaching around in there bothered me a little bit, you know, knowing that I might hit a dead body. I saw her hair floating around when I grabbed her leg and she jumped. It was a great rush of adrenaline. She was hung up in her seatbelt, and once I felt that go, I got my hand underneath her and I just pushed her straight up to the top where there was an air pocket.
Stop! I gotcha! I gotcha! You won't drown, I gotcha.
I didn't know how seriously she was hurt, but she was pretty delirious. And of course, I could feel her really shaking.
Right here. Help! 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 Don't worry, somebody's gonna see us. What's your name?
Karen!
Okay.
Karen! I'm cold. It's freezing.
That water is 52 degrees, so it doesn't take long to get hypothermia.
That's okay, I'm cold too, you'll be fine.
I was getting real tired. My arms were getting real tired. And I thought, if somebody doesn't come, I'm going through the hatchback.
Help!
I was thinking, maybe I'm down too far and they can't see me. But I kept telling Karen, I said, don't worry, help was on the way.
Okay, everything's gonna be all right. Help! 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 Help!
Is there anyone in there?
Yeah!
More than 30 minutes had passed by the time someone stopped.
I was ecstatic. I felt, finally, you know, this is going to end.
Help's on the way.
Ron Motter had been on his way to work.
I figured, okay, the guy got out and his wife's or his maid or whoever, somebody else is trapped under there. I was praying to God that she had enough air in there. Because they say don't move somebody if you don't have to. Let the professional people do it.
She's breathing all right, right?
My stepbrother's paralyzed from somebody moving him from an accident with nobody there.
Help! 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 Help!
Within 5 minutes, this lady and her husband came along, and everything just started to happen.
911!
Rescue units from around the area were dispatched to the scene.
Station 1, we have a 911 call.
Karen's father, Clyde Clark, a maintenance mechanic with the Parks Department, was at home listening to his scanner.
In the creek. Caller says it's a silver hatchback that's upside
It was the same description as the daughter's car, and I knew Karen was due coming home about that time.
Karen, I'm here. Karen, I'm here. Just hold still. We got help coming.
Daddy, Uncle!
Just hold still. We'll be in there in a minute to help you out.
I was just kind of thinking about her laying there crying and being cold and, you know, trying to comfort her more than anything. She's something special.
Karen had been trapped in the car for nearly 45 minutes by the time Morro Bay fire units arrived, including Captain Mike Pond.
A single patient in the water. They've got her head out of the water right now.
There wasn't a whole lot of damage to the vehicle, so we felt that if we could get inside and unlock the door, we could probably open it up. Firefighter Anderson had a spring-loaded center punch.
Pop the window here, okay?
Once that window was broken and we unlocked the door, with 3 of us pulling on the door, it came right open.
Come to the door. We got the door open.
Just a minute, Karen. I got you.
Karen, hold still now. Just a second. We got the backboard coming down. We'll put you on it.
Okay, okay.
When you're right next to death, it really makes you think a little bit. And it kind of made me realize, you know, how precious life really is. Because there are no guarantees. It can be over in an instant.
A little bit more. 1, 2, 3. Slide her back.
Bob Fox and Ron Motter were right in leaving her in the car until we got there, and their soothing voices and reassurances played a large part in her well-being during the whole extrication process.
From extracting her out of the car and then walking up to the embankment, she wouldn't let go.
You gotta let me go. You gotta let me go. You gotta let me go.
It takes a special person to be able to have that feeling and keep somebody going. Can't find enough words to compliment him.
At Sierra Vista Regional Medical Center, Karen was treated for hypothermia. Her parents joined her there.
I was petrified. It especially scared me knowing that Karen is deathly afraid of water. If Bob hadn't come by that day, I think Karen would not be here today. Her nightmares would have come true.
You're making me cry.
All right.
A year after the accident, Karen still remembers the day vividly.
Ron was holding my legs up so that they wouldn't smash against broken glass, and he ended up having to have 6 stitches put into his hand. The best part of the whole thing was knowing there's people out there that'll do anything for a stranger.
That's what it's all about. If somebody's in trouble, you help them out.
Right in the water.
And without Bob being there to help me out, then I never would have been able to get married this year.
Bob and Ron will always hold a very special place in our hearts for what they did for Karen.
I was happy that it all worked out. And, you know, my dad just taught me when I was a kid, you know, you treat everybody the way you want to be treated, and it'll come back around to you someday.
Wow.
That whole event, I kept telling her, don't quit on me. Don't quit. And she didn't. She didn't quit. I didn't quit. We won.
Yeah, I've talked to checkers.